What's going on, Jerome's? Happy home opener for those who celebrate, and it's time for another Vikings news dump, as you're probably taking a dump. He sees you when you're pooping. So a lot of this is going to be like Texans related, so if that's not your cup of tea. But yesterday's news of the blockbuster trade of Stefan Diggs from the Buffalo Bills to the Houston Texans. Now, Houston's loaded, man. All right, so we got Nico Collins, you got Tank Dell, you got Stefan Diggs as wide receiver 3. Now, will he accept his role? I do think that Stroud and DeMeco Ryans, they don't broke no BS. So I think that he will indeed Johnny Cash it, walk the line, and go from there, right? But it got you thinking. So, of course, Stefan Diggs and Justin friggin' Jefferson will always be tied together. It was the trade of Stefan Diggs in 2020 to the Buffalo Bills that facilitated the Vikings drafting Justin Jefferson 22 overall that season. So, obviously, Stefan Diggs had some great moments here. They had a couple 1,000-yard seasons, had the Minneapolis Miracle, etc. But Justin Jefferson, JJ is that dude. And it might be a little bit of out of sight, out of mind with the injury last year, but he's the best wide receiver in the game. He is a game changer and everything. So pay him, take care of him, and he will make life so much easier for whoever the hell the next Vikings quarterback is going to be. But what's interesting is that you remember, again, way back in the day, 2015, the Vikings drafted Stefan Diggs out of Maryland with a 5th-round pick. Now, reportedly, the guy who had spotted Diggs and was really pounding the table for him was Scott Turner. Scotty doesn't know. Norv's kid, who was the quarterback's coach at the time. Also interesting, Keenum McCardle coached Stefan Diggs for it was either a year, might have been 2, at Maryland. So connection there. But the whole thing about it is like the Vikings got great value for him in the 5th round. And also, what really bugged me is Stefan Diggs was inactive the first 3 games of his Vikings career. And then he was active for game 4. And the Vikings went up to Denver when they had that great defense. And Stefan Diggs put Aqib Talib on friggin' skates, man. It was really impressive. But Stefan Diggs, yeah, one of the best route runners in the game, but it is starting to age out, and also all that other stuff. But again, long story longer. So the Vikings spent a 5th-round pick on Stefan Diggs in 2015, and then took Justin Jefferson with the pick that they got in a Stefan Diggs trade in 2020. So beep, bop, 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 boop. The Vikings basically got Justin Jefferson for a 5th-round pick in 2015. Seems pretty good. Not a bad ROI. And now he does go to the Houston Texans, and so there's lots of takes like this, man. So one of the infamous aggregators, JPA Football, rebuilds don't take 4 to 5 years. All it takes is finding the right quarterback. Texans went from a dumpster fire to legitimate Super Bowl contenders in 2 off seasons. All you need is a quarterback. So we need to write that down. So all you need to do is find potentially one of the best, well, if not one of the best, the best rookie quarterback in NFL history. Makes things really easy. Oh, on top of that, go get Will Anderson too. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Sure. I mean, there's lots of these takes like, all you gotta do is find yourself a quarterback. I wonder if NFL GMs know that. And yes, CJ Stroud. What could have been. But, of course, Adam Rank had the coup de grace. NFL teams are going to model their franchise after what the Texans did for years. So Adam Rank, noted Bears fan, and the noted jabroni who goes on and predicts that the Vikings will go like 3-14 every single year. But basically, so, again, all you have to do is find the best rookie quarterback in NFL history. It's like him, Dan Marino, certainly up there. Well, first off, you need to draft the best rookie quarterback in NFL history after the team at 1 ahead of you F's up and takes like a 4-foot-tall dude. There you go. And then you need to have excess draft capital so you can move up and take the defensive rookie of the year, a true talisman on the edge, and superstar like caliber of Myles Garrett eventually. That's all you need to do. And also hire a great defensive-minded head coach, have Nico Collins actually wake up. Tank Dell comes in and contributes greatly. Have one of the best left tackles in the game in Laramie Tunsil. And then other than that, you got everything going. There you go. It's easy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Also easy is the memories. Bittersweet memories. Actually, no, just sweet. So, of course, Minneapolis Miracle, Stefan Diggs, and Case Keenum. A great moment. Will always be tied together. Also, I love J-Ron Curse just trying to get in on this hug. Let him have a moment, J-Ron. Come on, man. Also, Emmanuel Lamour, number 59 in the background. That's good times, man. Good times. But, you forgot that Case Keenum is the backup in Houston. And also, he was the backup in Buffalo for a hot second when Diggs was there as well. So, Keenum tweeted this out. Reunited, and it feels so good. Let's go at Diggs at Houston Texans. Third time is a charm. Let's go win the big one. I mean... All right, so yes, the Texans do play at US Bank Stadium. Now, could you see a world where, for whatever reason, CJ Stroud misses the Vikings game, and then Case Keenum is under center for the Texans, thrown to Stefan Diggs in US Bank Stadium with Danielle Hunter on the other side, and also, I mean, the Vikings have 17,000 former Texans on their defense. So, I don't know, man. Like, too many storylines. Also, a storyline is... So I don't know if this is about Sam Darnold being sneaky young or Jaren Hall being sneaky old. So our research, beep, pop, up, boop. So Sam Darnold is only 26, right? He's going to be 27 in June, but there's still a lot of really good football ahead of him. And he hasn't been given a great spot to develop, whether it was the Jets, whether it was the Panthers, and obviously he was the backup with the Niners last year, right? But he's only 26 years and 309 days old. Jaren Hall, last year's fifth-round rookie out of BYU, now a little bit older, stayed in college for 5 years, also served a mission before going to college, but he's got old, man. All right, so yes, we make a big deal about like Bo Nix and Michael Penix Jr. being 23, but I mean, I don't know, man. So, again, I mean, Sam Darnold is 10 months older than Jaren Hall. And, again, I don't know if this is more about Sam Darnold being young or Jaren Hall being old. It might be one of those yes spots. So, who knows? But it's crazy to think. So, I mean, Sam Darnold's been in the league for, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 6 years. It's going on year 7. And Jaren Hall is heading to year 2. It's funny, man. It's weird. It's weird how things work out sometimes, man. But next, speaking of things that didn't work out, so yes, the Vikings could have hired Jim Harbaugh, and also he had the connection with Kwesi. They go way back to San Francisco, but the Vikings went with O'Connell. I believe in O'Connell, but I feel like Harbaugh is going to be good. And, of course, his track record with the Niners was pretty damn special. In his first 3 seasons, he went to the NFC title game in each of his first 3 seasons, went to the Super Bowl once. It's kind of crazy, man. But Ari Mariota, Chargers head coach and football guy Jim Harbaugh. Most people think January 1st is the start of the new year. Those that espouse to Christianity, Catholicism, correlate it with the birth of Christ. But us in football, today, April 2nd, start of the new year. Now, I feel like a lot of people are just getting acquainted now with Jim Harbaugh press conferences. Jim Harbaugh is a weirdo. But Jim Harbaugh is also a hardcore football guy, and his press conferences in Michigan and his pressers with the Niners, I mean, they're hilarious. They are, and also, you see the glasses, like those are old man Bo Schembechler glasses, right? I mean, have you seen Jack Harbaugh? Like, Jim Harbaugh is slowly morphing into his pops, but I mean, I guess that's what happens. But the Chargers are going to be a tough-ass football team. They're going to punch you in the mouth. They're going to play with physicality, just like his teams at Michigan, just like his teams at San Francisco, just like his teams at Stanford. I mean, people, that's what started that great run. And people did not think that, I mean, Stanford played, passive football, but Harbaugh turned them into a bully. David Shaw carried the torch and continued great success out there in Palo Alto. And Harbaugh is a weirdo. And he's the one that points out the offensive line affects every other thing. So that's why I think that Los Angeles Chargers are going to really build up a bully in the trenches. And again, what could have been? Like, I feel like if Harbaugh was the head coach, the first order of business would have been to punt Garrett Bradbury to the moon. I don't know, man. And then bring in like a 350-pound center. I go ahead. And also, the best thing about Harbaugh, so this is his trainer. It's like he's like the guy who played in that movie Powder, right? And basically, by the way, his trainer's name is Herbert, which makes sense. But basically came in all like Clint Eastwood style. I'm going to make it so that it is impossible to break you. We're going to build up your neck and your traps and your back. Yeah, I mean, it's great. I mean, if you had central casting for a trainer in the NFL, I feel like you either have to pick out like the huge buff guy, or you get the slightly off-looking dude who says awesome things. And that's what they did here. That's fantastic, man. Also fantastic, and speaking of Los Angeles, so Puka Nacua had the best rookie wide receiver season in NFL history, and him being a 5th-round pick. Oh, by the way, you know who he has to thank for being ready for the NFL? Jaron Hall. That's right. Teammates back at BYU back in the day. No problem. But Puka was on the Rush podcast. Vikes fan page put this together. Rams wide receiver Puka Nacua on the best wide receiver in the league. I got to go Justin Jefferson number 1. Now, what's interesting about Nacua is that, so JJ has all these accolades, Offensive Player of the Year for 2022, but JJ was basically dinged up through most of Puka's NFL experience, but he knows ball. He respects the game. Love to see that. Yeah, love to see the whippersnappers respecting their elders as JJ heads into year 5. Also, hopefully with a new contract. Also, speaking of elders, so random tidbit from Ari Mariev. Commanders quarterback Marcus Mariota will wear number 0, making him the first quarterback to do so. Now, Mariota needs to not make these jokes so easy. So 0.0 PFF grade, 0.0 quarterback rating. Hey, bro, do you know that you just throw it straight into the ground, you get 39.6 on the quarterback rating? Also, so I forgot who pointed this out, but Mariota looks like a failed GM trying to explain why a trade went bad. I mean, what the hell, man? I mean, did the Eagles age you that much? I don't know. Did the Netflix documentary age you this much? Like, he's looking like Hawaiian Steve Martin right now. I don't know. But I feel like a quarterback can't wear 0. I have issues with my quarterback wearing number 0 and number 1. And also number 19, because I think it's a piss poor quarterback number. But anyway, lastly, so this makes me laugh. So John Feliciano, who, by the way, his Twitter handle, Mongo Feliciano, great. Fantastic. So long respected, tough ass offensive lineman. Loved him with the Bills, loved him with the Niners. Tough ass dude. Absolutely. Like, he is what you want in a guard, where he will fight you on the field. He might even fight you off the field. Who knows, man? But that's what you want. So here it is. I want my tackles to be super smooth, athletic, have feet like a ballerina. Both. Well, first off, left tackle, yes. Right tackle, I want a road grader. I want my 2 guards to be literally guards, like bodyguards. Like the portrayal of the 2 guards in the movie The Replacements. That's what I want. You know, the twin brothers. That was fantastic. And then center, I want to be cerebral. And doing calculus in your spare time, as well as with an ass, ideally. So Feliciano definitely fits that. Anyways, but Feliciano catches strays for the Niners losing Super Bowl. This is what he tweeted. Just picked up my kids from their Sporty Kids after school program where they play different sports each day. I ask her, what sport did you play today? She says, you have to guess. It's a sport you failed at. Basketball, I guess? No, football. You remember you lost the big game. Kids are so savage because, well, first off, I love kids because they haven't learned the filter, and also they are brutally honest. Like they're like Dave Bautista's character from Guardians of the Galaxy. Name escapes me. Where, sorry, that joke went over your head. Nothing would go over my head. I have superior reflexes. I would catch it. Where basically everything is literal. That's exactly what kids are, and they are the most unintentionally humorous people on planet Earth, because they will just rip your ass to shreds and own you, and it's fantastic. It's great, but that's good. Anyways, that's it. Vikings news done for this beautiful Thursday. Go Twins. You know what to do. Although, God, the Twins have no offense without Royce Lewis. Anyways, Skull production value.